the starting lineup for the Keeping It Real show. From Oak Point, Texas, it's the Tokyo Tex, the Kamikaze Cowboy, the Sukiyaki Jockey, the MOT, the Man of Trail, Tim Kimmer! Yeah! And from the home of the San Antonio Spurs, the captain of the team, the man with the dream, the man behind the wheel for Keeping It Real, Brad Jewett!
This way.
And now stay tuned for a commercial from one of our sponsors.
Every once in a while, something comes along that could be a game changer. Enter Unishippers, a trusted shipping source for more than 30 years. If you need a reliable, fast shipping source, turn to a specialist that knows the unique shipping needs of the equine reproductive marketplace. As an authorized UPS reseller, Unishippers offers unbeatable shipping value. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
Caring for your horses is easy when there's a safe choice for you. If you need one feed for the whole barn, there's a safe choice. If your horses need gastric support, there's a safe choice for them too. Some horses need lower starch and sugar. You guessed it, there's a safe choice for them. There's also a safe choice for mares and foals, for seniors, and for easy keepers. All these horses can gain a lot with science-backed nutrition from Nutrina. Yours could too. For every horse, there's always a safe choice.
All right. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. Enjoy the music. I want to feel the earth shake, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready for Type the Topic Thursday. Oh, I got to get my glasses on.
Is Charlie and Bear out there? I love it. Charlie, Cole, I hope you're judging while you're listening to us.
He's probably got a lot to judge tonight. He probably needs a rest.
He said Tuesday and Wednesdays was his rest day for that. So I don't think so, because I talk and text him every night, it seems like. So.
Well, it's Thursday, peeps. Time for Type the Topic Thursday.
Close, you guys. Close.
Getting close. 2 minutes.
Walk that. Kona cam.
Pop that Kona cam up. Pop Kona cam up. Show our great producer. Come on, Kona. Let's show your face.
Yeah. Hey, Kona cam. Woo.
Let's check out that hair. We're all so jealous of that hair.
Yeah, buddy. Hi, Willie.
I'm Brad Jewett.
I'm Tim, the Trail Man.
Keeping it real.
And now, Brad and Tim.
And now, the starting lineups for the Keeping It Real show. From Oak Point, Texas, the Kamikaze Cowboy, the Tokyo Tex, the Sukiyaki Jockey, the MOT, the Man of Trail, Tim Camara. Yeah. And now, from the home of the San Antonio Spurs, the captain of the team, the man with the dream, the man behind the wheel, and keeping it real, Brad Jewett. That was like one of my most favorite intros ever, Ted.
Good job. Good job.
Man, I love it.
Let's do it.
I
Let's
love
do
it.
man.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We're over the century mark on viewers. We love that on Type the Topic Thursday. We got some great questions that have already come up that we'll be getting to here in just a minute. Hi, Debbie Brim, saying hello to Brad and Tim. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody.
Bummer.
So we have we're trying something new tonight, and we're going to have two of our sponsors call in tonight, which means that if this runs successful, we are going to be having live callers calling in to ask some of our guests in the future some questions. So providing you guys can hear, and I'll tell you right now, if you can't hear our guests, which the first one will be Miss Amanda Kimes from Kimes Ranch Jeans, that'll be joining us here in a matter of minutes. If you can't hear it, please text us and let us know. Please don't be picky and go, it's a little louder. But we just want to know that you can hear it, and then we'll fix that from there. But and then after the break, we will be having Mr. Matt Farrell from Horesemans Future joining us as well. Yeah. And so
my neighbor.
Everybody stay tuned. We're going to show you a commercial from Kimes Ranch Jeans, and then we'll be bringing in the lovely Miss Amanda Kimes. Hold tight. As you can see, who's up on our screen right now, we have her coming in right away, Miss Amanda Kimes. Amanda, hello, how are you?
Hello, hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me from quarantine.
Of course. You know, Kimes Ranch has been on board from day one with the Keeping It Real show. And so we thank you so much. There's been many of you that have been benefits of their amazing gift certificates that they have allowed us to be able to give away on the show. So we thank you, Amanda, for that, allowing us to be able to do that and give back to our community, because our viewership, I can proudly say, everybody, we're well over the 100,000 mark now in just over a month. Like, I think it's a month, 30 days, we're over 100,000 mark on our show. So thank you for sharing, everybody that's gone out. Thank you for sharing it and commenting. Tim and I read all of your comments, your messages that you send out. Tim, if there's anything you want to add, by all means, I like to talk. So by all means, just jump in.
So I want to thank all our guests too, because everyone who's been on our show is a big part of it too.
Absolutely.
And let them come back and watch the next night or something. So, thanks to all the people who've been on our show also.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be here without them, for sure.
It's been really amazing how quickly it's grown, and your viewerships, from when we watched the first few shows you guys did until just this week. You guys have gained hundreds of eyes each night. It's really incredible what you two have done.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, and again, our first show that Tim and I did, it was let's just talk it, man. Let's just get on and talk some trail. We got a video series out there at JewDequine.tv that Tim and I've got hours and hours and hours of videos on, right? So we were just like, hey, let's go on and talk about it, right? Amanda, you can't see this, I don't think, but you got a bunch of people telling you hello. Leslie Lang, Charlie Cole, are just two of the ones that are still on my screen here that are there. But anyway, it's just been awesome to see the response. And the first night, we weren't knowing if we're doing another one or not, but people were like, okay, when's the next one? And Tim and I looked at each other like, what are you talking about? But anyway, we got Amanda again. We thank you for taking your evening to spend with us. We want to hear a little bit about what Kimes Ranch has going on, because I know that Tim and I have jumped off of here and gone and done a show for you guys. And so I know there's more than that show out there. Tell us a little bit about your live shows. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the production. Do you have any new things out there, a new summer line, quarantine line? I mean, I don't know what you're calling it, but just tell us what's going on in Arizona.
Well, it has been a really unique time for us. Obviously, it's a unique time for everyone. With not having any events to go to, most of our marketing and all of the events we do are really kind of what drives our company and what we're known for. And when you don't have those, you scramble. I mean, you guys as horse trainers and are trying to figure out how to train horses and keep them peaked and what level. We're trying to do the same thing as a brand.
Yeah.
It's relevant. How do you stay at a certain level of peakness without anywhere to go? So that's kind of where, we drew a lot of inspiration from you and Tim with trying to do sort of a clinician concept and do live shows. We do weekly shows and we try to base it down in niche genre. We've done a ranch riding clinic, we've done a reining clinic, we've done just a trail clinic. Last night we hosted a barrel racing clinic.
Awesome.
Things like that to keep everyone excited and motivated, to keep us relevant in these times. We've done a lot of dog contests. Everyone loves to post pictures of their dogs.
That's cool.
They're pretty silly. It's like worst best worst dead dog, things like that. And just lazy dogs is really what we're looking at. We've done a lot of live concerts. All of our musicians that we sponsor, they don't have any work right now. There's no bars open. There's nowhere for them to go. So we've been trying to help them out. So just anything that we can do to help the people that we love, to help support the brand, kind of make it mutually beneficial. So that's been the inspiration for all of our social media content, which has been key right now because everyone's at home. And so social media is off the hook. I mean, that's where everyone goes to get their daily, dose of people.
Yep. I have to give you a shout out right now. Nancy Cahill just jumped on and she's like, Amanda was one of my great youth World Cup kids.
I love Nancy.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
I did. I've known Nancy for a long time, and Nancy's known my husband for many years. I'm sure that she prefers me to him for sure.
That's awesome. So do you have any new clothing lines or styles or anything like that you guys are bringing out?
Well, sure we do. When everything opens back up and we can get back into production, it's been really interesting for us. Our spring line was supposed to have launched the middle of February, and it was going to be hot, and we were growing at such a rapid rate. And then this hit, the COVID crisis, and a lot of our spring goods are just now arriving. So they're kind of becoming a summer push.
So the shipping kind of got delayed and stuff. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Absolutely. We had stuff get stuck in transit. We've had products get stuck in their manufacturing country. The stuff that we make in LA, which, all of our denim's made in the USA. It's made in Los Angeles. They've been shut down the longest. And so we have no manufacturing going on. So we have 5 new denim styles we're launching this year that were supposed to be ready to go at the end of June. However, they were supposed to have been in production, 8 weeks ago, and that did not happen. So I don't know when they'll be out, but there are many new men's and women's styles coming. I'm hoping by the fall. I just got word yesterday that the governor of Los Angeles is letting some manufacturing take place in small scales. So hopefully we can get back to that. We just started making face coverings or masks about 10 days ago, and those have been doing really well. We're kind of making those in like a bulk order basis. Again, trying to stay relevant, trying to do what's in demand right now. Our fall collection, everything with these brands that you guys love, not only us, but other brands, is going to be really kind of hit or miss because we had this huge, amazing fall collection that I worked so hard on with Matt, and we were so excited. And we had to scale it back just to demand is put all the retailers are closed. So there's nowhere to sell to unless we're selling direct online. So that will now probably not launch until October, which it should have been here in August. So there's just a lot of things that all of these brands are going to have to really kind of wrap their heads around, and especially not having events. That's where, a bulk of your business takes place. So we have an online presence, kimesranch.com. We're offering a wonderful sale right now. I'm going to type that. But
sure.
that's kind of what's keeping us going. Thank goodness for that. But it's definitely an interesting time to be in retail.
I can only imagine. I mean, all the different wheels that have to be in motion in order to get that out, right? Like the actual. What am I trying to think? The fabric, and then you have the people that are actually sewing, and then you have the people that are design. I mean, there's just so much. Have you had to kind of go? What do they call it? Not a downsizing, but when you've kind of skeleton crew, your crew at all there as well.
Yes. So our warehouse with our governor shutting the state down, we couldn't operate. And so we scaled way back, which is really unfortunate for those wonderful people because they did nothing wrong. We were going and blowing, and then we had to stop. So we only have 2 people 4 days a week. 2 people 5 days a week, and then a third that comes in 2 days a week. And everyone's working from home. Matt and I are lucky that I'm sure everyone knows now, but our home and our ranch are on the same property with our office. So we walk to work. Our commute is about 100 steps. So we still get to get in the office every day. And, now everyone's starting to get real bored at home. So we have people that ask if it's okay to stop in and come see their office, hang out. It stays pretty minimal, but everyone's really having to not only skeleton crew, but diversify. The roles that they were in prior to this are no longer what they're doing. Everyone's having to take over a lot of social media roles and assist in that capacity. And they're not getting orders in here. What are they doing over there? So everyone's just really having to kind of step up and take on new roles that weren't necessarily there.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of I think something that's kind of good that's going to come out of this is there's going to be a lot of people that actually learn that they can do more than what they think they can do, right? Instead of just coming in and doing that same thing and I guess I'm just summoned to just do this every day for however long until I want to move on. It's kind of teaching them to stretch. Tim, you look like you have a question.
No, I do. I think our forum here is great too. You guys do it, we do it. But how would we even know about what's going on with you guys unless you're out here talking with us and our group of people who's out here? I think it's so cool that you get to tell us about what's going on because we really don't know. We wouldn't understand that until you come onto our show or your guys' program and kind of have an opportunity to talk like this. There's no question.
We get a chance to really, and it's really unique too when people call in or talk about the business. Every brand and everyone is handling this so different. So just because this is what our company's doing does not mean that's what every company's doing. Everyone's really having to tailor make this world for them kind of during quarantine and lack of events and what keeps you relevant and going. And I mean, you can only post so much information on the website. I mean, people don't come there to read a paragraph to come in the web. They come there to shop. And so they don't come to your social media page for kind of a story like this. They come there to be inspired or to have their imagination go. They don't really want to hear the nitty gritty, but it's really fascinating because people like to hear it and they like to know what we're doing, and it kind of humanizes the whole story.
Agreed. Right. Agreed. Well, Amanda, we could not thank you more for being on here.
Sure.
And thank you even more for supporting the Keeping It Real show. I know everybody on here, everybody that's on here, better go look to Keim's Ranch Jeans and make your order because there's going to be some amazing stuff. And I know in the past when I've gone to orders, not in stock, we're sold out at the moment. So I promise you with everything that's delayed, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amanda, things are going to sell fast. And so,
absolutely.
So you need to probably get ahead of the game a little bit. Are your new lines out already online? And then once they come in and they arrive, you'll be able to ship, or are you just waiting to put them out?
No, the new denim is not available for pre-sale at this time. Okay. We do have a spring collection that's mostly ready online, and it is shipping now. And then we do have some jeans in stock, but again, we're not manufacturing at the moment. So we have a couple week delay before we're back in full production. There
you go. There you have it, straight from the mouth. Hey, can you set aside one of those pair of jeans for Tim Kimura?
I will do my best.
Okay.
Good job, Brett. Fit that in, Tim. I'm sorry to put you on the spot there, Amanda.
I'll work for it.
Absolutely, Amanda. Have a good night. Tell Matt hey for us. And thank you all again.
Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody.
That's so interesting.
It is. You don't realize how it touches so many other businesses, right? We see it in our industry. And I know we have a million people on here that have different businesses, and they're all affected. I'm sure they'd like to share their story, but that's a company that I've never even. I mean, I never thought about how to manufacture clothes and how that works and how it hurts. It hurts. Right. So hopefully our country's opening up soon, right, buddy?
Right. No doubt. No doubt. Look, Tina, that will make Tim's day. No kidding, Tina. You're right. Good job, Brad, for Jewett.
So we have the same thing. After our break, we're going to take some questions right now. Kona, if you can scroll back up, I want to hit that one question. But we are going to have Matt Farrell on with Horesemans Future, another one of our great sponsors. He'll be jumping on right after the break for a few minutes. And then next week on Type the Topic Thursday, we have Unishippers coming on that I know more about because I wanted to hear about what they bring to the table. They ship more than semen for stallions, right? Of course, High Point Performance Horses uses them, and that's one of their major clients when the seamanship. But they ship anything, show clothes, you name it. They do a lot of work for attorneys. I talked to the owner today, and so you definitely want to tune in for that because they can help you. They can get you a better rate. And I'll tell you the best part about it is their customer service is second to none. And you can call High Point Performance Horses and talk to Christy Christensen, and she'll be the first to tell you that. So anyway, we're excited for next Thursday to have Unishippers jump on here for a few minutes and tell us a little bit more about them. So we're going to go to Joyce Hagan typed in a question here, Tim. It says, did you two have any worries or misgivings when you were planning to launch Keeping It Real? How do you feel now that it's turned out to be a great concept and a roaring success? Tim, I'm going to let you start with that.
So when we first did it, we were just kind of going on one night and we're just kind of winging it and stuff. And now, oh my God, it's so complicated. All our guests will know because when we do that pre-interview, the questions are rapid fire. It's so complicated. That's all I can say. That's Tina's old horse. But wow, so educational. I tell this to Brad the thing I tell Brad all the time is we have this so much history in our possession, okay, that we get to share all these stories, and it's compiled into 25 different episodes as we speak. And every week we learn something new, and that's I love the best. I love the interview. I love trying to figure out what questions to ask. I get amped up when I do the trail, but you know what? Showmanship, pleasure, all that, all the other ones. I ranch. I get excited for the ranch too. But it's interesting. It's just so interesting, and to connect all these people out there that appreciate what we do. That's huge. That's huge.
I would say that too. And we each have. Tim came and spent a week here with us here in San Antonio. Of course, obviously, I'm not going to have Tim come to San Antonio without helping me with trail. So we obviously did a lot of that. But we did, he kind of got to see behind the scenes on the production. So for those of you that don't know, I do a lot of the behind the scenes production piece with Kona. Kona's the one that actually runs the program. And then, as far as organizing when we're going to get on with our pre-interviews and all that kind of stuff. Understand that it's no lie. It's a 5 to 7 hour process to get one of these shows ready. And that's why when we're asking if anybody's interested in sponsoring, that all of that is man hours and work. And then of course the boards that we have in order to try to make our transitions as smooth as possible and trying to bring it to you guys as smooth as possible to truly make it feel like if I can say the word ESPN without getting something taken off, but just give it a feel, because this is what Tim and I originally did that first night. It's like, hey, let's get on and be two sports guys talking about trail, right? So
first take, man. First take.
yeah, first take. There you go. Stephen A. and Chip, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so anyway, that is a huge compliment, actually, how you said a great concept and a roaring success. Thank you for that, because we
appreciate that.
We love doing this, and it is work. Like Tim said, it's complicated. Tim does all the questions, and he puts a lot of thought into it. I'll get a text at 2:00 in the morning because I know he's working on questions, on what to ask to keep you guys, the people that are watching, to keep you engaged. What would they want to know and hear about, right? So when you guys ask a question, even though we may not say it on the air, we're we're being aware of it. You know, we want to make sure that we give you guys a voice, and that's why we went with the live format instead of just a recorded show.
But it's so fun, and we're passionate. I mean, you can tell how we do this. We're passionate about doing this. It reminds me of Drawing Trail, doing clinics. When you're passionate about what you're doing, you'll love it. It's work, but it's not work. It's more harder on our girlfriends and our wives than it is on us. So
yeah, we're doing 4 nights a week, right? But the nights that we're not on, that Tuesday is definitely a day of prep, right? So that we could try to have the weekend where we're not having to do a ton. So we're going to Debbie Brim, which is a related question here. She goes, how will you be able to keep the show going when we all get back to the horse shows? Will you have time every night when we are at the show? So we don't exactly know how that's going to work, but I can tell you that Tim and I definitely we are going to bring this live. Now, we'll probably have some glitches here and there because we got to have Wi-Fi when we're at these facilities and all that kind of stuff to be able to run this show. But we do want to take it truly live at the horse shows, get people walking out of the World Show Pen, the Congress Pen, whatever, come by. Hey, tell us about not your run, but tell us about the year that you had leading up to this, right? We have the opportunity to do that on this kind of format, right? So it's about truly learning the whole, not just hey, congratulations, you won, but it's more about like, tell us the guts of it a little bit more.
You know, I can imagine me being at the trail table and trying to work on my outlines now. So it'd be like doing 4 things at once. Telling everyone when they have to go. Charlie, you're next. Jason 2, Brad 3, Robin 4, Gino 5. Okay, wait. What's my question for that? I could just see having to do both that, right? Oh, but I foresee that.
Tim, if anybody can do it, you can do it for sure. For sure.
I got it. It's all good. Do you have another question, or you want to keep going here?
Scroll down just a little bit there, Kona, for me. If we want to send a donation, which is sponsor, where do we send? That's a great question. Thank you, Peg, because I did not mention.
There you go, Peg.
Please go to thekeepingitrealshow.com, thekeepingitrealshow.com. That is the best way, through email. Those emails go directly to our producer, and then he brings them to us. So the Keeping It Real Show, and then there's a simple click on there that if you want to become a sponsor, just click on that link, give us your information, and we'll respond to you. We'll give you however much information that you want to see for you to be able to sponsor. And then for all of you that can't watch every show live, we encourage you to go to our YouTube channel. The Keeping It Real Show is what it is called, our YouTube channel, and subscribe. It's a free subscription, but if you ever want to binge watch some of the shows that you haven't gotten to watch yet, please go on and click that. What show is this? 27? 27. This is 27.
Wow.
There you go. Over 100,000 and 27 shows. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank you, like Tim said, all of our guests that have helped us to get to that spot. Speaking of,
I'll tell you.
Wow,
I was going to say, it's interesting, like, to watch the old shows when you're on the computer, if you're cooking dinner, doing laundry, cleaning the trophy room over there. I mean, that's the best of the best, just because you don't have to watch us. You can just hear us talk, right?
Yep.
We just have faces and places, so it's all good. Sorry.
I was going to say, speaking of guests, tomorrow night we've got Brett Parrish and Cody Parrish. Going to be a great show. Again, all of you probably know the plates, so we'll hear some of that. But there's some cool stories about RL Best of Sudden that I didn't know about, and how potentially the whole story behind RL Best of Sudden and what a great sire he's been could have potentially been a no-go. Right. So I'll save that for tomorrow night, but it's a kind of a neat story. And then we get to hear about Cody Parrish and his pony training and all that. It's astonishing what the entrepreneurs actually they are in our industry. It is really cool. Really cool.
Great story. That's a great story.
Where we got? Scroll back.
Working on our hats, right?
I'd love to hear about quality of movement in trail, horsemanship, and how that can impact your score. Tim, I want you to start there with the trail especially.
You know, like Jeff Malott said last night, back in the day when I was little, we had to do rail work, and that's where quality of movement came into play. Nowadays, you know, I think Charlie or Bear said this, how when that horse goes over the poles, especially loping, you know when that good mover pops that pin and you see it, but not always the best moving horse is the best jumping horse, okay? Like when I ramp it up, you got to be athletic enough to go over the poles, especially at the trot too, you know. Good mover, I find there's good movers that are very athletic people, athletic horses, and for some reason that makes it a little bit easier for them to go over the higher poles.
Yep. So I agree with that. You know, so many people think that, if I have the best mover, it's going to be great. So Robin Frid, actually, when he was on here, he said, you know, he was sitting with Shane George and they were judging hunters and that thing cantered off before it even faced up to a jump, cantered off. And Rob was like, oh, this is going to be like in the 90s run. And Shane's like, yeah, I haven't even seen it go over a jump yet. How are you already like trying to figure out what this thing's score is? So it's very similar in our event, right? Just because they're a great mover doesn't mean they're going to go over that pole beautifully. And so with ease, with the feel, the desire, the ears, everything that we would love to see as a judge, right? That this horse loves to do its job and does its job really well. And so really taken in that same vein, you take it to the horsemanship and the showmanship, whatever you want to say, right? Like, I think it's not just about the movement. It's about the connection between the horse and rider, right? When that horse goes to lope over a pole and it sees its spot and the rider has no idea it sees a spot and it takes it over, even though it may be, and that rider's go riding against that spot, it's not going to look very nice. It's the same thing riding in a large fast circle to a small slow or a lead change or a stop or a turn. The horse may have a good turnaround, but if you don't know how to ride that turnaround and that turnout and the precision of the stop to that next maneuver, those things, they start to show up. So movement to me, it's the icing on the cake. It is not what would you say, the breaded part of that cake. If that, like, you got to have all the mixtures that go into that breaded piece before you put the icing on it, right? You got to make sure all those other pieces are there, those ingredients are there, and then movement may separate a half a point here and there, you know, if they can maintain and bring all the other ingredients to the table. Is that a good analogy?
And the last piece of that, it's like dancing, right? It's elegant dancers out there, their footwork, their presentation, it shows up, okay, versus someone who doesn't dance as well, okay? You're doing the same steps, but it's the elegance of the good mover that accentuates going over the poles too. I'm done with that.
All right, we're about to take our little break, Timmy. Are we doing?
Did we get? Oh yeah, rapid fire.
I was man. We're gonna forget. Hold on, I gotta. Tim, this is Tim. Every Thursday does rapid fire with me, and I say that's not fair, brother. Like, how many of you? I want to see it right now. How many of you want to hear Tim do rapid fire? Yeah, that's. Just give us some time, Tim. It'll show up because I promise you they will.
Play your music. Play the music.
Oops, sorry.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for My Bad Fire.
So I like rapid fire where you have to answer a question and it's not multiple choice. It's a lot easier for me to do my questions.
I'm going to see if I can be a little better at this week.
Brad Jewett, question number 1. Name something you liked to eat when you were a kid.
Ice cream.
Name a superhero besides Superman and Batman.
Oh, sorry. Name a superhero what?
Besides Superman or Batman.
Aquaman.
Name something you complain about often at the barn.
Man, there's so many.
Ouch.
So many of Can you push your horse's body parts around before you go loping?
Name something you did not learn in school.
Man, I get.
I worked hard on these today.
That's interesting. What?
I worked hard on these. Name something you did not learn in school. Come on, man.
How to sell. How to sell.
What song do you sing along with what song do you sing along with the moment you hear it?
That's what I'll just say we just did. Easy by the Commodores.
Okay. 6. If you had a magical power, what would it be?
What is that when you can go from one room to the next like that?
Transporting or?
Yes, like being able to like think somewhere and you're already there.
Okay. Easier question. Name 2 items besides lettuce you enjoy putting on your salad.
Ham and bacon.
Name one of your favorite all-time movies.
Gladiator.
Name your favorite cartoon character.
Bugs Bunny.
What is something you learn new? What is something you learn new from either show this week?
Trying to think of our shows because my mind's already on Friday. I got to look at my list.
Horsemanship Trail.
So the showmanship and the setup, the setup in the showmanship, and I learned stuff from last night as well. But the showmanship setup like that was very applicable right at the moment of this week that we're in.
Time. That's it. Very good. Good job.
I feel like I did better this week.
Yeah. Sure, for sure. I love it. Better. Send us off.
Did you see that? Did you see that on the screen there, Tim?
I saw a rapid fire question Tim posted here. It wasn't MOT. What? Okay, here it goes. I'll give you the quick version for that, okay?
That's a great question. Thank you.
3 jobs. Ag teacher, a coach, a horse show manager would be my jobs. I would love to coach. I would love to coach a team. I love to be an ag teacher, and I love managing horse shows. I enjoy doing that. So those would be my other jobs. Hi, Jenna Lee.
Fantastic. We are going to our break. Halftime, we'll be back with Matt Farrell here shortly. Stay tuned. And then we have more of your questions tonight. Great questions so far, everybody. Thank you.
Caring for your horses is easy when there's a safe choice for you. If you need one feed for the whole barn, there's a safe choice. If your horses need gastric support, there's a safe choice for them too. Some horses need lower starch and sugar. You guessed it, there's a safe choice for them. There's also a safe choice for mares and foals, for seniors, and for easy keepers. All these horses can gain a lot with science-backed nutrition from Nutrina. Yours could too. For every horse, there's always a safe choice.
Every once in a while, something comes along that could be a game changer. Enter Unishippers, a trusted shipping source for more than 30 years. If you need a reliable, fast shipping source, turn to a specialist that knows the unique shipping needs of the equine reproductive marketplace. As an authorized UPS reseller, Unishippers offers unbeatable shipping value. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
And now, my neighbor,
Yeah.
Crossroads, Texas, Matt Farrell. from Horesemans Future. I'm bringing
Hey, guys.
Matt Farrell. Hi, Matt. How are you, Matthew? I like calling Matthew.
Good. How's it going?
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us on your Thursday evening. Hey, so we thank you so much for your sponsorship, first and foremost. Matt's a big reason why we are here, everybody, because he was our first one that ponied up and did a big sponsorship with us. He saw the validity in it. He saw the passion in Tim and I when we started this deal, because he was on the phone with us for a while. He wasn't throwing good money after bad, he felt, in doing this. So Matt, thank you for that. Thank you for believing in us. And again, over 100,000 people. Matt was pretty spot on. So that's pretty awesome. And to know that this is a guy that's going to be talking about what to do with your money, horse trainers or non-horse trainers, whoever's here, what to do with your money. If a guy's got a vision like that about this show, then we appreciate him coming on there, think about what he can do with your money. So Matt, thank you. Tell us a little bit about maybe your business and how it's going, but how maybe the Keeping It Real show has helped in that process of growing your business and being able to do more for people. Take it away.
So first, I just want to say thanks for having me. I'm extremely happy to be a sponsor. But I did want to say, after I got done, we did our interview like a month ago.
Yep.
When we were done, I had people messaging me about what I could do for them.
Yes.
I had phone calls the next day. So everything worked out great. I had a blast on the show.
So before we go any further, make sure you tell us how people here can get a hold of you, okay?
So I got a Facebook page, Horesemans Future. You probably type in the comments. I got a website, horesemansfuture.com.
Okay.
And you can send us an email through there, and phone number on the website again.
Awesome. And so they'll be able to find your email or whatever, so people can email you or call you or whatever, ask you questions about, because we have a question, but about what advice you can give for people looking to invest their future financial well-being. So they can email you there, call you, whatever, and be able to talk with you about it, and just by going to your website or Facebook. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay. Going to Facebook.
Cool.
I had people, some people send me messages on Facebook, and others send me emails through the website.
Awesome.
And what's cool is that you're right here by us. I mean, you're my neighbor. You're about 6 or 7 miles away from us, right in the heart of Pilot Point, Albury. So you're right by us in downtown Texas here.
Oh no, I'm glad I came down here. It was a good choice. I came down here in January. I came down here after the World Show, and I had a hunch that this was a good neck of the woods for me to be in, and I'm happy I did that. And luckily enough, I ended up being your neighbor, Tim.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then I like it too, that you're kind of focusing on different horsemen, because sometimes our horsemen aren't the best business people. So, I mean, it's just important to get information, right? I'm just saying, to get information, ask questions, put yourself in a better position. So if we get any type of situation like this, that it'll work out for you.
Yeah.
And Matt's super easy to talk to, very educated. Sure. So please don't hesitate to send him an email, pick up the phone, call him. He has a passion. He's a past horse trainer himself, so he knows the business very well. He's just not a money guy. He's a horseman as well. And so, you may find more in common than just being able to just talk about money. But he's done very well. How long have you been, since you hung out your shingle there with Horesemans Future, how long have you been doing that?
A year and 6 months.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that's a part we talked, and please, by all means, go back and watch our show with Matt, because you get to hear more of his backstory. But Matt, just like believing in this show, Matt, he doesn't hesitate. Like he's ready to, if you need him, that guy, he's been a horse trainer. So he doesn't mind working 18-hour days. People, he knows what that's about. Right. So, that's what you get. And that's why we love to be able to partner with a guy like this, because he understands it.
And he hustles too, so that's what I like about that. Like
Absolutely.
when he was up north, he was hustling up there. I love it. I love it.
Yep.
You do a great job, Matthew. I'm very proud of you.
It's a man with a vision, is what I kind of see. You know, really cool, really cool.
Thank you, guys.
Well,
Thank you.
Matt, thank you again for coming in tonight. We appreciate it. And please, one more time, tell us how people can get a hold of you.
Through my Facebook page and through my website, horesemansfuture.com.
Horesemansfuture.com or Horesemans's Future. Matt Farrell. You can see the spelling. I think we got it right on the page. He can't see it, but look at how dapper he looks in that picture.
I know.
Look, he's a little stud. How about that? That's a great picture, Matt.
And Matt, I'm going to tell me you want a hat too. I read your comments. So poor Matt wants a hat. So make sure you get Matt a hat.
And so we are making hats for our guests. We are going to have hats to be able to purchase, because I saw that as well on our live stream here, that people are like, where can we buy a Keeping It Real hat? So we will have those as well, everybody.
And that lady who makes the hats is on tonight too.
Is she?
Yeah, I saw her name go by. So
is she now? Awesome.
Yeah. Her and her gang. So, Matt, you have the capability of being able to meet with people via Zoom or whatever as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's been big in everything that's going on with COVID. Had to do a lot remotely now.
Oh yeah, it's like if you don't know how to do that, it's like
great job.
That's stretching right now. All right, Matt, we're gonna
Matt.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks,
I know
Matt.
you'll probably still be on here watching, so thank you for always being a good watcher. Thanks for investing in the Keeping It Real show, man. We could not do this without you. Thank you so much, brother. Have a great night.
My pleasure. You too.
Bradford, can you remind all our old guests that we're working on caps for them too?
Well, that's what yes, for sure. It's like anything else. We have to have the sponsors to be able to buy these, because Tim and I aren't independently wealthy to where we can just buy a bunch of hats for people and do that. So we thank people like Matt Farrell, like Kimes Ranch Jeans, and so many of the others that you see above Tim and I's head right here, to be able to do things like that, because we want to keep this going, like Debbie Brim asked. We want to keep this going when we go live. And so we'll definitely have some stuff there as well. So, all right, let's get back to this. How about our pictures and videos we got, Tim?
Yeah, we can talk about. I just got a couple side passing things I wanted to talk about, because I was at Robin Fred's today too, and I'm practicing some side passing. And then you have some pictures and everything. I kind of maybe we'll do that number one pick for us if you have time.
It's coming.
So we've been talking about side passing just this year, and it's in place. So I drew a couple of them for us right now. So quickly here, if I was telling you guys a little homework, I would definitely teach my horse a side pass with the front legs in that gap, which is illustration number 1. Illustration number 2 is kind of like ranch people too.
Kona.
No, I mean he can do that. It's all right. I'm going to just talk about the. That's right. Number 2 is where you have to do the back legs in that gap. And I saw that in one of the ranch riding patterns. I know that's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Then number 3 is, again, like I was practicing today, straddling a pole and that little corner, okay? And I think Nancy Cahill's on tonight, so luckily I did 3A.
We set that up today, Nancy. That 3A with the little pole sticking out there. Right there, you see Hannah. She's one of my students on her 3-year-old right there. And we did that with the pole. And I should have taken a picture of that, darn it. But we stuck that thing out there a foot, like Nancy said. And she sat there and tinkered with it, just took her time, played, didn't ever frustrate the 3-year-old. So that was awesome for her to just kind of keep picking through that. But, yeah, thanks for that tip. And now Tim's got it on his screen.
Yeah, it's on my radar now. So then 4 is like the picture with the horse here, okay, with the front legs on the inside of the corner, and the back end's kind of going to do like a forehand turn around that corner. Maybe we'll just do the video right now, because that will represent illustration number.
So go to number 3 there, Ona.
Yep. So this is just showing, it's a little trickier because it's a blind corner, because you can't feel that hip. You just have to feel the hip go around the corner. You really don't get to see the pole too much. Okay, we'll show it a few times here. And you just kind of want to look like you're marching around that corner without looking like you're in a hurry, okay? Right. And you want to look stable. It's all about looking stable when you turn that corner like that, okay?
Which I thought this horse did well. This horse had not ever done this before. This is at my place today, and this is my 13 and under novice rider here, and she just kind of did the same thing. She just took her time and tried to feel it out. You can see that horse thinking about that pole behind him, but he never hit it. He never stepped on it. She didn't rush it. She let him kind of figure out right there. You see her just kind of slow around the corner, just letting him figure out where his feet are and kind of where that pole is a little bit. Super proud of Natalie for doing that. That was awesome. And I just thought this was a good explanation of, like Tim said, just not trying to rush around that corner. This isn't a speed event, right?
So, someone asked about measurements, like when it's parallel poles or a gap, it's probably about 4 foot usually. Okay. So, but like these are just single poles here, so there's really no measurements. But in 2020, I've showed you guys the side pass with the front legs kind of around that corner, and I haven't really showed you the inside leg corner where the front legs are on the inside. So, FYI, maybe you ought to practice that. So I'm going to continue real quick on the number, I can't read my own, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, which is the triangle, okay? So on the triangle, just quickly, because I did practice this today, just straddling a pole and trying to go around that corner, which is not like a 90 corner. It's a little bit more than that. And just like they're doing here, you kind of want to tuck those feet inside that corner so when you sweep around, it's easier to get that body around. And you should be able to do it with the front legs on the outside and then kind of with the front legs on the inside. So I would have this on my radar, if you know what I mean, okay? Because it really impressed me. Like I can jog into that thing, do a 360, walk over that pole, and then do a turn around that one corner or something. So
yeah, maybe. Tommy Sheets, thank you for that too, because we pulled that out today and practiced trotting over the pole, stopping with straddling it.
Right. So it's funny, like all the things we talked about last night about controlling the body, controlling the feet, side passing, turning the multiple bridges. That's on my radar. Yeah. Let me have that picture. One more last one. I'm going to just tell you what I thought about the U-back too, okay? And when I was drawing this tonight. So the U-back, 4 foot on the bottom gap, 6 foot on the width. You can side pass that U-turn, which gives you 2 corners to practice, and then you can walk in that gap and side pass in the center of that gap too. So it's multifunctioning that obstacle too. So just we'll post this on our site, our page later on tonight. But just wanted to give you guys a little side piss tip of the day. That's all that is. Okay.
Love it, man. We should turn our show into the side pass show.
It feels that way this year, right? In 2020. So
I love it.
You have another question on the board you want to play with, or?
No, I don't see any questions. What do we? Let's see. Let's go back up. Come on, everybody. You're kind of quiet. I know you're listening right now to the master, Tim Kimura.
MG.
Tim, I've been out of the showing scene since I was 18 and just bought a horse last September. We love to hear these stories. I was used to the 90s trail and have never done an MOT pattern. Wondering if you have an ebook with different obstacles that I can set up at home. And your ebook is right here on the Keeping It Real show. If you go back, Tim has posted a lot of things here on our show. But Tim, do you have anything else you want to add to Amanda's question there?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, I'm going to say, like, I have different stuff on it. I like to send you that direction. If you go to some of our other shows, that usually every week on Type the Topic, we have one sheet out, okay? One sheet out of different obstacles. Like, one of our earlier ones, I remember that, like, episode 4 or something, that I don't remember which one. It was an early one that we did. I set a whole gamut of obstacles, okay? My friend Lauren from the Valley in San Joaquin Valley, I send her stuff too. That just having a combination of different obstacles. I remember I showed the trot lopa. I showed the different types of trot serpentines one time. I've set this one up the side passing right now. So if you look at some of our older shows, we do have stuff like that. And then, I'm just going to go for it. My business is drawing courses, okay? And I hate it when people steal my patterns, okay? I hate that with a passion.
I do too. I've had that happen with my horsemanship patterns.
Oh my God!
I don't mind if somebody asks, but to flat out steal them, right?
Yeah, that's such a bad no, and I have eyes everywhere. So they tell me, do you send me a pattern, or did they just highlight your name off that pattern and use it? Okay, yeah. That's a big can of worms. But so it's not like I like to do that. It's a weird fine line. If they ask me nicely and it's for a good cause, sometimes I'm willing to do a little bit. But yeah, that really freaks me out when people use my other patterns and other people have to pay for them. So I'm a little cautious saying that. I really don't have an ebook yet. When I retire and keeping it real is 5 or 10 years old, then I'm going to write that book, right? So that's my answer to that question.
We have a question on here from Christine St. Jean. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I had a question the other day about showmanship when getting to your setup. If your horse is square, when getting to the judge, do you move 1 foot to show control or leave it?
What do you think?
Leave it. I mean, unless your horse is strung out, excuse me. If he's strung out, what do you then you need to do something to show that you know how to set your horse up. In other words, he stops and he's square, but if he's strung out, you want to fix it. If he's too tight, right, you want to fix that as well, right? So you want that horse to be balanced when he's standing. One thing, a lot of people taking that horse has stopped so hard, he's way too under himself, and it looks like he's about to step out and move because he's just not standing comfortably. So I would definitely, we can do that with next Kona. I would definitely leave it. If he's balanced and he's there, nothing wrong with that. That shows control as well. When you say, whoa, you stop at the judge, you turn to set your horse up and he's there and he doesn't move a foot, and you say, whoa, and he stands, that shows control just as much as being able to move a foot. So for sure, stand, whoa, make sure your horse understands that. It shows the control. It's no different than having to move a foot. Tim, do you see this question from Angela Dillahunty, who is a longtime watcher? We really appreciate it. Tim, what do you believe is the most challenging obstacle in trail for most exhibitors?
Perfect. Go for it.
The turn on the side pass around the corner all day long. Here's an example.
The side pass.
Because it's not vogue and you haven't done it very often, okay, till 2020, that is very challenging for people. So my friend Scott Newman, he judged Prairie Classic or a couple of shows, and he said, don't take the side pass out because that's the obstacle that has the most differentiation of his scoring.
There you go.
Right? So he said, man, I got to be a +1. I got to do the -1. I had penalties in there. It was the obstacle that had lots of different stuff going on. Plus, judges get to be judges again. They get to judge something.
Yep. That's exactly what we talked about last night, right? When it comes to the gate or the backup or the side pass or any of those slower obstacles, if you look at the score sheets, there's going to be a range from -1 to +1, +1.5, -1.5, right? Because different than your lope overs, you're going to have a difference, but it's maybe a 0 or a +0.5. Or a 0 or a -0.5 or whatever. You're looking at a bigger gap here. If you look down your score sheets, at the end of the day, you go into the office and you look at those score sheets or online or whatever, you're going to see that's where your differentiation is going to be. So spot on for Scott there. I believe that's dead right.
Right.
Helen Rose, if you're just starting trail and have to buy poles, what length would you recommend to start with?
Is that my question?
I mean, come on. I mean, 12 all day long, right?
12 foot. Depends where you live. If you live somewhere in Texas, they're available. Okay. EJ, Robert, and everybody. I mean, we have them here. We get them from Germany. Like the round ones, they come from Germany. They come in a container, and then they use them here. Then we paint them, and then we reuse them or refurnish them. Round ones are hard to get. There's some in Canada. There's some up in the northern areas, but sometimes when you buy 100 of them, they get real crooked, like 80-90% straight, and then 10% crooked, which really screws it up. Then there's just a 12-foot 4x4s you can get at Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay, you can come on an octagon if you want.
That's what I started.
Keep them square and heavy. Robin Fred, sorry about that, but Robin Fred, when he first started, he had like 40 4x4 12-foot poles, and they were heavy. Oh my God, they were heavy because they were treated.
Yep.
Right. That's the hardest part.
I will add something to this too. When you buy poles, whether they're 4x4s or you get at Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, or the round poles that you buy from someone, when you put them somewhere. Make sure they're laying all to where they can be flat. Like our trail poles, and see some of in those pictures that we have that we showed earlier. If you go back and watch it, you'll see that they're laid to where they're balanced, to where they're laying flat. In other words, it's not just on the ends to where they'll get a little bow in the middle.
Right.
Just kind of a little. Oh, go to another one. The first one, I think. It shows. You can see our poles back there behind her to her left. You can see we've got to where those poles are you can't see it up close, but there's supports on, I don't know, probably about 3 foot in on each side to where, there's support and there's no way that these poles can bow in the middle or bow on the ends, right? So that's just a little tip as well. There's people that make carts with more support than what we had there. We're building a new place, and that's my goal. Is we're going to have a little cart that I'm going to make to have more supports on it for sure.
Right.
When measuring, Tim, do you measure between the poles or center to center? I see some people put 2 logs on each end, a 12-foot pole, and then one in the center, but that wouldn't really be a full 6-foot pole. So does that matter? Yes, absolutely, it matters.
Yes. So, it says 6 foot to 6.5 foot. Let's count a lope over, right? So the poles could change in width. Okay. The width of the poles could change. So it could influence the gap. So I always suggest that you measure inside to inside. It's so much easier to put that tape and press against the inside of the other pole and measure away than it is trying to get dead center of that pole. And when it's round, how do you know where the center of that pole is? And it seems weird. So always on my courses, I measure inside to inside. Whether you want to believe that to be correct or not, that's the MOT, Man of Trail way of doing things, is inside to inside.
So this is a couple questions that we get, Tim, often, is about the length of our trail patterns, right? And don't roll your eyes. So everybody, if you've ever done a pattern at the horse show when Tim is there, Tim's always very aware of it. And Tim, all of us, the show management, everybody is aware of the time that it takes. And so, Tim, here's a question. With big emphasis on the slow work, do you expect the trail patterns to take more time this year? Will you try to design the rest of the pattern to take less time?
That's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked. Isn't what they say when they're in the Senate all the time? That's a great question. Thank you for asking me. Okay. Sorry. There's a possibility that could take a few more seconds. Being the man of trail, my job is to try to be somewhat efficient how I draw a pattern. I'm sure people that can't feel that time with. The gate takes 25 seconds. The back takes 25 seconds. That side pass takes 20, 30 seconds. That's a minute and a half you're talking about. So you're leaving me a minute and a half to back. I got back too. There's another 20, 30 seconds. So that's 2 minutes right there. So I have 30 seconds to fire you guys up, lope, trout, whatever. It's tricky. So as the beginning of the year happened, sure, my patterns got longer. 3:15, 3:30, 3:40, 4 minutes. So I just need more time to figure that out. What I can pull out, what I can use. Walking is a big thing that takes a lot of time, so that's tricky too. But I'm just going to give you my one but. Because of the virus, I think I'm going to get a temporary timeout from using the gate. Okay. I have a feeling for the first month I'm not going to be able to use a gate just because we're all handling it with our hands. So for 1 month maybe I might not have to use that gate, which gives me 30 seconds to do that side pass.
Oh, you heard that here first on the Keeping It Real show.
I think it's at EC. I can't say it's official. So
right, I understand that.
It's on the agenda this week, I've heard. So until they tell me I have to use the gate or not for maybe a month, I'm just saying. So Redbud, if I'm hoping the Redbud goes, and maybe Nebraska and some of those other shows are going to go, they might eliminate the gate and in ranch the dragging. They're going to take the drag out too, because it's where we're all touching the same thing. Yeah. So because we can't control the sanitation of that, I foresee that happening, and that's a big advantage for me for 1 or 2 horse shows. to speed everything up. I mean, not speed up, but I can do that side pass. So I'm going to tell you, don't run away from that side pass, because in 3 weeks, it's coming.
Well, if I can just reiterate here, we do talk a lot about the slow stuff on this show because it hasn't been touched on very much, right? And it does not mean that when I say I'm not on the task force, but that they're reinventing trail. They're not reinventing trail. If you read your rule book, there's a lot more obstacles than what we have been using in the trail the last however long. I won't give it as an exact time on it, right? So please don't think that you're going to get to the horse show and go, oh my gosh, I don't know. That's what we're using this platform to be able to do, is to make people aware that when we come back, you have time at home right now. You've seen a lot of pictures on here or on our Facebook page to where we can try to help people prepare for what's coming up. We're not trying, I say we, and I don't mean me personally, but the course designers, the trail task force that's going on, not trying to trick anybody, not trying to cut anybody out. And I promise you that's not going to happen, because we have way too many great horsemen and horse trainers out there. It's just trying to educate everybody and get everybody an even shot, not just the people that are in shouting distance of Tim or the trail task force people and their friends. It's about everybody, right? So again, another reason why, share these shows with a lot of people, because we want everybody to know this. We want everybody to be on an even playing field when we go back to showing live. This is not about tricking anybody. Look, these side passes aren't hard. You saw some of the great ones last night with Jeff Malott, Tommy Sheets, Nancy Cahill. They used to do all this stuff and even harder way back in the 80s and 90s. So this isn't something that's new. Okay, it's retro, maybe that's a word, but it's something that we're really trying to bring to the awareness of everybody, that when we come back, make sure that you've done your homework there, right?
I'm sure when you guys figure the side pass out, I have more tricks in my little bag.
Guaranteed.
Right. So it's not that I want to trick you, but I have more challenges, to test you with, is what it means. But I'm just trying to give you some awareness here, okay? Water box. And it's not, like I said, not to trick you. I'm just saying, please, please, please practice that stuff.
You bet. I love it. So everybody, it has been a great show tonight, Tim.
Yeah, perfect. Love it.
It's a little past 8:00. We thank you, everybody, for coming in here. We've almost got 700 people that have crossed our right, so that's awesome. Just to a little bit of our tips, tricks, and we thank Amanda Kimes for coming in tonight, sharing what's going on with Kimes Ranch. So please go check them out. Get your orders in.
Brad Jewett.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I did. Can you tell me about Monday and Wednesday next week too?
I can. Monday we have Mr. Cleve Wells, Mr. Steve Heckerman. It's so at the weekend is sandwiched with the parish.
Pleasure 4 days.
And we've got Cleve and Steve on Monday. And then Wednesday, we've got the Searles coming in for some Western riding tips and info. So you don't want to miss that, right? And then, of course, another Type the Topic Thursday. We'll have Unishippers coming in talking about their company just for a short bit. And then on Friday, we have Lainey DeBoer and Valerie Kearns coming in to tell us what's going on in the equitation. So so much more information, and we actually have the next week started as well, but we'll save that for Friday.
And then too, you guys asked questions that we didn't answer. We'll try to get back to them to you online too, or we'll go back and answer them also. Sorry.
Yep.
Great job, Brad. Great job, Kona Cam.
Great job, Kona. Thank you, Tim. Thanks, man. Great job as always from you. Thank you for being nice to me on the rapid fire. Maybe I need to keep doing it. I'm getting a little bit more loosened up. All right, everybody. Stay tuned so we can thank our sponsors one more time and close this out. Thanks again for joining us tonight.
Every once in a while, something comes along that could be a game changer. Enter Unishippers, a trusted shipping source for more than 30 years. If you need a reliable, fast shipping source, turn to a specialist that knows the unique shipping needs of the equine reproductive marketplace. As an authorized UPS reseller, Unishippers offers unbeatable shipping value. Let Unishippers deliver for you. Call Mark and his team today.
Caring for your horses is easy when there's a safe choice for you. If you need one feed for the whole barn, there's a safe choice. If your horses need gastric support, there's a safe choice for them too. Some horses need lower starch and sugar. You guessed it, there's a safe choice for them. There's also a safe choice for mares and foals, for seniors, and for easy keepers. All these horses can gain a lot with science-backed nutrition from Nutrina. Yours could too. For every horse, there's always a safe choice.
This has been a Kona Cam production. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.